Hi, my name is Simon Wiley, and I'm here to talk to you guys about trout fishing on the cheap. How many of you guys enjoy fishing? It is one of my favorite things to do. Arkansas is an excellent state for trout fishing. All you need is an ultralight rod, a little reel, 4 to 6 pound test line, lead slip sinkers, swivels, tiny hooks, and a little bit of bait. So a little bit about trout in the state of Arkansas. The 1940s, they started constructing hydroelectric dams throughout the state. A close one for us to think about would probably be Locking Dam 13 in Barling. However, there's no trout in the Arkansas River. The closest place for trout would probably be the Beaver Dam, which is also a hydroelectric dam. The White River that outflows out of that does contain trout. And actually, last weekend I was trout fishing there with my cheap setup, and I caught a lot of trout. Um, the state stocks various types of trout. However, the brown trout are the only ones that can reproduce. So all the rest of the trout are restocked on an annual basis. You can find trout out of the White River, out of various tailwaters, the Little Red River, Spring River, Little Missouri River, the Washita River, down south, which is only really from November to April because the water temperature gets too high, and various lakes and ponds on a seasonal basis throughout the winter months. Today, more than 1.5 million trout are stocked annually in the state of Arkansas. Now remember, brown trout are the only ones that can reproduce, so all the rest of them have to be stocked. When choosing the right fishing rod and reel, you want to go with the ultralight with a very sensitive tip. The tip is important. Trout are very sensitive, and if they feel anything, they let go, and you're not going to catch anything. You want to choose the right reel. Spin casting is the best choice. It's ambidextrous, so it doesn't matter if you're right or left-handed. You can switch the handle from side to side. Casting's okay. You can use casting, and bait casting, which is a horrible choice for trout because they're typically made to carry heavier lures and stuff out there for bass fishing and catfishing. 4 to 6 pound test line is what you want to run. I usually use about a 12-inch piece of 4-pound line as my leader off my slip sinker, and then with it being just big enough to cast out, far enough where the trout aren't going to see me sitting on the bank trying to catch them. Your swivel is just going to be big enough to stop the slip sinker, and then you're going to have your little 12-inch lead, and then your tiny little trout hook. And I use Berkeley power bait nuggets, which look like little marshmallows. I prefer the rainbow colored. It has all the colors, pinks and whites and yellows and greens. I put it's a floating bait, and I put it on the hook in a bell shape to when it floats up, it tapers down and it holds it up off the ground where the trout can see it, and go get that delicious marshmallow treat, and then end up on my dinner plate. So when you're bringing in the big one, trout have very sensitive lips, so you don't want to jerk hard. Easy does it. Reel it in slow and let the drag loose to where if they pull the drag out instead of breaking the line. 4-pound test is not very heavy line, and it will break very easily. Reel it in slowly. Take your time. No hurry. Just get it to the bank. Once you get it to the bank, take a selfie. Get a picture of it. It's a proud moment. You know, you got to have something to share with your friends. Put it on a stringer and then take another selfie because you did that. So, in conclusion, I've talked about what kind of fishing gear to use, what rod, reel, line, swivel, sinker, hook, and bait to use. I talked about how to reel it in. Make sure you get that drag loose. Take your time. Take plenty of selfies. And if you're interested in trout fishing, we cannot afford the expensive gear. There is a cheaper alternative. You don't have to buy the expensive fly rods. You can buy a cheap little spinning reel and a ultralight rod and get out there and fish. I catch much more fish off my ultralight setup than I do my fly rod. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. If you guys have any comments or questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I love fishing, and I'll talk to you guys all day about it. Take care.